All right. Well, we are here, and it is day 81,
81.
I think. Jeez. Of This Is Not Advice, where we don't give advice because we don't know how you should live your life. You do, but we give some perspectives. And I'm Roy from Bloomberg Beta, and I'm an investor, as I think you might know. Some of you know have been watching. And one of the great pleasures I get to know investors who are coming onto the scene. And I think, Sergio, we met a year or two ago, something like that. You were hosting an event, Latinx investor event, and then we've done some other stuff together. So Sergio Marrero is the head of Rebel One, which is trains investors, connects them in a community. And so this week we're talking all about the questions that face you at the kind of interface of investor entrepreneur. And this is a big one lately, which is people thinking, should I be an angel investor? And would love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that question. It's interesting because when I entered the scene and saw people that were angel investing, I think the average person probably shouldn't be an angel investor until they receive some.
The average person is not allowed by law. So let's also
That's
just
right. Yes.
It's a question that we have to admit is a question of privilege, because you need to be, well, need is a strong word because it depends on exactly how you do it. But the rules about being an accredited investor are pretty, restrictive in terms of the percentage of Americans, at least in the US, who would qualify.
Yeah. So, I mean, for unaccredited, you can check out irs.gov, but there's crowdfunding, right? Platforms and whatnot. And then the accredited investors are, maybe working through angel networks, groups of angels, or they may be contacting startups directly to put money to work. My advice is don't make an investment until you see lots of investments, see lots of options, so to pick the best option. That's usually my default response. What do you think, Roy?
Well, I mean, I think the question to me is like, what do you want to get out of it? And I think if you are practicing the startup trade, like you're a founder or you want to be a VC or something like that, then putting your own money into things and making choices is the best way to learn. And I think while it is a privilege to even be able to ask oneself this question, I think that it doesn't take as much money as people think. Like people are like, I'm not rich. Why should I be an angel investor? And you don't have to be like, well, we're all like in our industries, we're like doing well. And so it's a question of how rich, but most people think I need to be a lot wealthier than I am. I would say a lot of people get into it because like they have a friend who asks them about their company, and that's fine. If you want to do it, your advantage is knowing your friends. But if you're doing it to like, the thing I just say to people is assume you're going to lose all your money. And I've written a blog post with some early tips for first-time people, mostly for people who are sort of outside of the tech industry and don't know stuff like you should trust the founder, or they want profitable businesses to angel invest in. It's like, good luck. But I don't know. I'm just curious for you, as you learned. One other thing I say as a VC is we love co-investing with angels. Angels are often dollar for dollar, particularly ones who have started companies, the best investors around, better than any VC firm, including us. And we meet companies through them. I see we got one of the founders we back, Andrew Corder, is on. He sold his company to Twitter, and we met him through an angel investor who was involved. And so I'm just curious, Sergio, for you, when you see people starting to get into it, any tips for them on how to do it in a successful way?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the first things is to join a group. That's what I've in the beginning when I was joining, I went on, if you're just online and just at home, checking out, WeFunder and Republic and a number of those other platforms, Seed Invest, to just see the different investments and see the terms, but definitely joining a group of people, some angel networks that you can start to ask questions. At Rebel One, we have just launched an angel network of people that want to invest with us. And it's free. It's free to sign up, and we share deals. And seeing the deals over and over, you start to understand what other investors are looking for. You have a community that you can ask the stupid questions, right? Because no question is stupid, but you need. It's one of these things that's it's an apprenticeship type profession. I would say at Rebel One, we offer training for people that want to dive in. We do an intensive, but for people that don't aren't quite ready for that training base level, there's so much information out there for free. Looking at blogs and joining groups is just step one.
Totally. I love that. And, I'll just say my own experience as an investor working with angel groups is that they're not all created equal. So,
oh my God,
you have people who join a group thinking I'll be in my local angel investor group. And you basically have like 4 guys who like made all their money in real estate, talking to each other about TikTok. And it's like, okay, you guys are not going to figure that out.
And I would also say when you join an angel group, so I'm gonna tell a story. So like I joined Harvard Business School Angels, right? And you would assume when you walk in that they are very rigorous and there's a checklist and they're very methodical. I went to a couple meetings of one of the groups, and it wasn't that way. So I would say always take what you're learning with a grain of salt.
Totally.
and
somebody has a fancy brand, doesn't mean that they're great. Or
that's right.
And also, I'll just say rigor can be good, but it can be bad. Like, for example, as a co-investor, when angels invest as a group, meaning like you pitch and then they all talk about it and see it, I'm like, no, thanks. Like, that's going to lead to groupthink. We want people who are in a position where they can make decisions individually. And they sometimes join groups, but they rarely think and decide as a group. And they're like part of the whole advantage of angel investors, individuals. They think for themselves. I see, we have somebody we love working with. Pete Skamarok is on now. And Pete, one of the things I love about hearing from Pete is I know I'll get an opinion that is only Pete's opinion. And that's what you ultimately want, is that kind of diversity of views and perspectives. And I know it's something you've worked hard for. And so anyway, I think that's really great. Thank you for the perspective, Sergio. I really hope Rebel One continues to thrive. And we'll be back. Tomorrow we are taking our monthly day off as a team, coordinated together. So we will not be back tomorrow. But I will be back with Min on Monday, and Min's still here with us in the background. In fact, we may sometimes crowd her in with three in a box on the screen, but today she wanted to do it. So all good. And I see some good friends, Nicole here watching. So hi, Nicole. It's great to see you. And please feel free, ask questions in the chat if you want. But really, like a lot of these we now get from questions people are asking us. Hit us on Twitter, hit us wherever, and we'll talk to everybody soon.